So we are going to start with dyslexia first. Just to let everybody know, the International Dyslexia Association has updated their definition. They updated it in October of dyslexia. I'm going to link the website down below so you can go and take a look at it a little more in depth. I'm a member of the International Dyslexia Association, and I suggest everyone become one. They do so much good for people. I am going to read part of it because I want to touch in on it. And since it's so new, I have to read it. Dyslexia is a specific learning disability categorized by difficulties in word reading and or spelling that involve accuracy, speed, or both, and vary depending on the orthography. These difficulties occur along a continuum of severity and persist even when instruction is effective for the individual peers. One of the things I really wanted to point out about this is that it's a continuum. So you're going to have some people who have significant issues and then some people who have more milder symptoms, all right, when it comes to that. And people who have dyslexia, their processors that they deal with most would be the phonological and the orthographic. So phonological has to do with those sounds, and orthographic has to do with the letters. One of the major issues with the orthographic processor is that the words that they're seeing are not readily able to be pulled up for retrieval. So they're having to decode over and over and over again words that they have learned previously. The word storage system basically has some issues, okay? Now, people with dyslexia typically will have decent or above average language comprehension processors. Good vocabularies, understanding when read to, but I do want to preface this part right here. We're saying typical, so it's not everybody, okay? And also what I've seen in my practice is one of the ways that we increase our vocabulary or our language comprehension, understanding the syntax of longer words, is by interacting with text and reading. But unfortunately, people with dyslexia, they can't interact with that text. And so when they don't, their vocabularies and the sensitivity to the syntax do not grow either. So it's very important for people with dyslexia to be read to listen to audiobooks, to continually work with language so they continually strengthen that language processor because it is a strength for them. Now, the fourth processor, the context, the executive functioning, really struggles because it's so overworked, the working memory, all of it, because it's having to try to support the phonological and the orthographic. So that's kind of where the breakdown kind of happens there. What's really important to point out is that people with dyslexia are not going to improve just by having repeated readings. Okay, timed readings, repeated. There's ways we can support with fluency with that, but that's not only what they need. What they really need is structured literacy, systematic and cumulative, explicit phonics instruction, repeated over and over and over again. Very important. And it has to have a phonological a part of it as well, because we have to increase both of those processors when it comes to fluency. Because remember, fluency is accuracy, rate, and prosody. So if the accuracy breaks down for people with dyslexia, then their rate isn't there. And then there's no prosody because the working memory is having issues keeping track of that. So they can't make the meaning. So it's basically like a domino effect when it comes for people with dyslexia.